Hello friends, let us start with hydroelectric energy. So flowing water has a lot of energy which is called as kinetic energy. Now kinetic energy is of flowing water or potential energy of the water reservoir is a conventional source of energy. Okay, so for a very long time human beings have been involved in using this energy of flowing water. So in hydroelectric power plant what is done? The potential energy of the water that is stored in the dams, in the reservoirs, is converted to kinetic energy. And this fast flowing water from the dams rotate the turbines at the bottom of the dam. So the kinetic energy is converted into electrical energy. So electricity is generated by generators. Okay. So here is the block diagram. Water reservoir with potential energy converted into water turbines. Then energy is given that is used to produce electricity by generators. Now potential energy to kinetic energy in flowing water, kinetic energy in turbine to electrical energy. This is how it is converted. Now the schematics of hydroelectric power plant is shown here. So you can see that there is a wall, at the bottom there is a slice gate, a gate which can allow the water to pass. The reservoir, point A, B, C is there, turbines and generator. Now if you see point B, it has water above it, so there will be water pressure on it, and there is gravity also because there is a slope. So from reservoir, from point B, the water comes down and then it rotates the turbines where it produces electricity and then is flown outwards. So here no fuel is burned, so there is no question of air pollution. So there are some issues like migration of the people. Whoever is living there, they have to be migrated to another place. If there is a forest, it will be submerged under water. It will go under the water. If there is land which is agricultural land, it will also go under water. The ecosystem will be affected. But yes, this is non-polluting source of energy, and you can get this energy for a very long time every year. What are the advantages of hydroelectric power generation? First thing is that there is no fuel burned, so no pollution problem. Sufficient water storage can be done, so we can generate electricity whenever necessary. Water reservoir is used for power generation. It can be replenished during rainy season, leading to uninterrupted power generation. So throughout the year, if the dam is big, throughout the year you can generate electricity. Now what are the problems? First thing is that backwater, submerging of the villages. So you stop the river water, what happens? The river water spreads over a large area. So if there are villages, they will be submerged under it. So these are the problems, like rehabilitation of the people. You have to take those people in the village and give them some place somewhere else. That is a very big problem. Obstruction of flow of river water may have adverse effects on the river. Here they have shown us the Koyna dam. Now kinetic energy in the wind is also being used for a very long time. It was first used for lifting water, for driving flour mills, etc. Now it can be used for producing electricity also. Now kinetic energy of the wind is used to rotate the turbines which are connected to generators, and then we get electricity. So here is the picture, you can see. So here blades are there. So what the air that is coming in contact with the blades will move it. Okay, and then gearbox is there, shaft is there, and electricity will be generated. So function of the gearbox is to increase the rotation per time, because the rotating blade will produce very less electricity. We want more electricity, that's why we use gearbox. So the number of rotation increases, and that because of that we can have more electricity. So various stages can be seen here. Wind with required velocity, then wind turbines, then generator, then electrical energy. So kinetic energy in the wind is converted to kinetic energy in turbine, that is converted to electrical energy. So small capacity turbines are there to large capacity is there. So 1 kilowatt to 7 megawatt is available. So depending on wind velocity and site of installation, wind turbines have specific capacity are selected. So where is the location? What is the geography of the location? That we should know. So wind velocity is usually high on the seashores, so that is appropriate, and it is a clean source of energy. There is no pollution. So if wind velocity is less, then we cannot install it. So it is not a place, it is not a thing that can be installed anywhere. There should be a certain wind velocity, then only you can have it. Now here they have shown us the different capacities and picture. In the picture you can see the large size ones are offshore wind turbines. Usually they are in the oceans. Okay. Then electricity generation using solar power. Now solar energy is the ultimate source of energy for us. So what we can, whatever we have learned till now. So till now we have used the electromagnetic induction. So what we do, we rotate the turbines with the source of energy, either by flowing water or by wind or by steam or by gas. Now there are two ways to produce electricity by solar energy. Number one is without the use of electromagnetic induction. So electrical energy can be generated directly by solar radiation by using special type of cells which are called as photovoltaic cells. So solar photovoltaic cell converts solar energy directly to electrical energy. And second method is that it is converted into thermal energy first, and then turbine is used to convert it into electricity. So we heat water first, or we heat some oil, and then we produce steam and then produce electricity as the earlier discussed by rotating the turbines. So solar photovoltaic cell, so it converts solar radiations directly to electrical energy. Okay, so this this cell is called as photovoltaic cell, and this effect is called solar photovoltaic effect. So electricity generation is very small and it is DC in nature. One cell produces very less. So silicon cell of dimension 1 centimeter square generates 30 milliampere potential difference of 0.5 volt, and solar cell of dimension 100 centimeter square will generate 3 ampere. So remember that potential difference available from a solar cell is independent of the area. So even if you have small solar cells or big solar cells, that means the area is big, then also potential difference will be same. So we should have many solar cells joined to each other in different combinations to get the required current and voltage. So here they have shown us electric energy can be produced, which is in DC form, from solar energy directly by photovoltaic effect. Now page number 57 is cancelled, so no need to read that. If you want, you can read it for information, but it will not be asked in exam. So the power available from single cell is very less. So what we do is we join many of them in particular arrangement, and we get the required output. Now the DC thing is there. So DC means direct current. So these cells, they are DC cells. So you can use them in light emitting diodes, which we called LED. Then we can convert it into, we can store it in batteries and then convert it into AC, and that it can be done by inverter. So most of the equipments in domestic as well as industrial use, they run on AC. So we can convert the DC into AC by inverter. So inverter is a device which can convert direct current into alternating current. Now solar energy, solar cell, you can see here, solar cell will produce the electricity, store it in battery, convert it into AC by inverter, and then used by electrical appliances which are used every day. Now here they have shown us the assembly. So many solar panels are connected together to generate whatever amount of energy that you require. DC power generated from the AC panel is first converted to AC power. Transformer transforms the voltage and current levels which are fed to the electricity grid, distribution network. So in this way electricity can be generated without any fuel consumptions. It is pollution free, and solar energy will be available for us very long time. But the problem is that it is available only during the day. During the night we cannot produce the electricity. So that is one shortcoming. Now there is another method, that is solar thermal power plant. So what we do is we collect the solar energy by concentrators, absorb the sun's heat, and then produce steam by that heat, and rotate the turbines and produce electricity with the help of generators. So here they have shown us the different stages. You can have a look at it. So hot water is produced by the solar heat. We can concentrate the heat on the flowing water, and then this water produces steam, and this steam can be used to rotate the turbines, which will produce electricity. Okay, so many reflectors are there. They concentrate the solar energy, and this heat energy is used. Okay, we'll stop here.